Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down, but the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. Solar. Power up.
Audio Fidelity Records presents a new stereophonic sound spectacular.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready, guys? Let's talk some Buccaneers football. All right, listen, it is time to come to grips with this. It is time to move on to the Carolina Panthers game. It's time to let it go. Go full Frozen, time to go Ilsa. It's time to let it go. We've got to learn to let go of that last game. It sucked. I don't know what the heck was with that game plan, but it's over. Let's move on to this game. I'm excited about this game. It's a big game. It's a big game. Not kind of important. This is, if there's been almost a must win for a 6-3 team, it's this one. I mean, that says a lot. The Buccaneers have to win this game. And let's talk about this game. Let's talk about what we can expect from this game. What do you guys expect out of this game? I want to hear from you. I want to talk about it because, you know, for weeks, everybody has always said, oh, man, this is going to be a blowout every game. Doesn't matter if they're playing the Saints, the Giants, doesn't matter who it is. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be a blowout. And I think that people have bought into the hype a little bit and not looked at the actual product on the field. And right now, what we see is a team that's going to struggle. We see a team that's struggling to make the playoffs. That's a fact. You can be 6-3 and still be struggling to make the playoffs. And that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at a team that is basically on track for being, you know, maybe 12-4, maybe 11-5, 10-6 if things get a little dicey. And it all depends on which team comes out on the field. The team that played the Packers, or is it the team that played the Giants, or is it the team that played the Saints? Either of those 2 weeks? I don't know what to expect because from week to week, this team has no identity. They are not a cohesive unit functioning on all gears right now. And something has to change about that, guys. Something has to change. What needs to happen for this team is that this team, I believe this team needs to develop an identity. This team needs to come together and have some sort of, look, what is this team? Can you describe the offense to me? Try to describe the offense. You're probably just going to describe the game from last week. You're not going to talk about this is the overall identity of this team. And that to me scares the crap out of me. I don't have any identity for this team at all. I mean, defensively, they did at the beginning of the year. They were phenomenal. They were blitzing from everywhere. Pressures were coming from every direction on the quarterback constantly from the time they stepped on the field. It was crazy. The first several games, they scored on their first drive. And now it's 3 and outs. And I guess to me, I don't know what this team is. And that bothers me. That really bothers me. I don't know the identity of the Buccaneers this year. Who are they? I mean, if you have Chris Godwin, if you have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Scotty Miller, Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady, and you're scoring 3 points, what the heck is that? So I don't know what this team's offense is all about, and that's what I want. That's what I want us to figure out here in the cheap seats, because that's what guys do when you're watching football in the cheap seats. That's what you do. You sit here and you talk about it and you figure out the answers. And let me tell you something. Sometimes I think the better answers come from the guys in the cheap seats than what you see coming from the coaches and the coaching staff, the geniuses, because the geniuses sometimes, I think, buy into the press that says they're geniuses, and they think they can make these crazy freaking moves and do crazy freaking things, and it'll all work out because they're geniuses. Sometimes I think the guys sitting in section 333 might know a little better. So that's who I want to talk to. I want to talk to you guys here in the cheap seats. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. What are the answers? What is it that this team needs to do to establish some sort of identity on offense? I mean, I believe that they need to stop trying to switch it up every week. I believe they need to go ahead and be consistent and solid and do what they can do best. They need to run the ball. They need to throw the ball to people like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and now Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. And they need to stop throwing the ball to people like Jaden Mickens. It's not that Jaden Mickens is a problem. That's not what I'm saying. But that's not what this team should be in my eyes. And when I see them step on the field right here in Charlotte, where I'm broadcasting from, what they need to do when they step on the field is put together the kind of performance that this level of talent is capable of. It's time. It's time. It's time to stop with excuses. Stop saying, well, they've only played, now it's 9 games together. Okay? Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. Something's gotten into one of my cats. I don't know what's going on. But I'm telling you, there's a mentality that has happened, that has taken place with this team that I do not understand. When you have the weaponry that this team has, it's sort of like pretend you are a battleship, a powerful aircraft carrier, and you have all of this weaponry on board. And you say, they know we're going to come with these airplanes. They know we're going to come with these fighter jets. They know we're going to fire off some missiles. They know what we're going to do. So let's do something different. Let's catch them off guard. No, you have superior firepower. This team, I'm going to word it this way. This team is a war machine that is ready to go do battle with anybody if they would just use the weaponry they have. If they would just use their strengths. Don't be cute. Don't overthink it. Don't start, relying on the backup to the backup when you've got Pro Bowl caliber players all over the place. I mean, they're literally just dripping with talent, and we're not seeing it show up on Sundays on offense. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And when this team steps on the field against the Carolina Panthers, it better be different. It better be a team that it better be the aircraft carrier that's sending out the best jets in the world. That's hitting with all the force and power that war machine has, using every bit of the weaponry that it has and hammering the crap out of the enemy. And let me tell you something. I don't know what it is about the Buccaneers, but I also think they need to start looking at the other teams as the enemy. There needs to be a little more dislike. There needs to be a little more hatred for whoever they're playing. It just seems like they're just cruising through. Like I almost feel like the players maybe believed their own press. Is that the truth? I mean, do the players believe their own press? You guys are being quiet tonight. You're not even commenting in the comment sections. It's a little odd. Do you think that they believe their own press about how good they are? I'm completely confused by what's happening with this team. This team is better than that. And this team had better show up on Sunday playing up to its potential. Don't y'all want to see a game where the Buccaneers play up to their potential? Don't you want to see the Buccaneers play a game where they play up to their potential? What is their potential? I mean, it's mind-numbing to think of what this team is capable of. Guys, it's frustrating to me because they've got the horses, man. They've got them. And I don't know what the heck, but this team this week has to be clicking on all cylinders. Let me tell you something. Last week, it's frightening, but last week sent a message to the league. And it's not a good message. A new message needs to be sent. A new message has to be sent. A message that says, yeah, you know that Saints game? Yeah, that's not what you better be expecting when we come into your house. The Buccaneers need to walk into this stadium right here in Charlotte, in my backyard, and they need to punch the freaking Panthers square in the whiskers. Okay? It needs to be ugly. It needs to be ugly. It needs to be a whole different kind of ugly than what you saw last week. It needs to be a whole different kind of ugly. They need to leave a team bloodied. They need to leave a team going, what just happened? Instead, they're right now. I see the Buccaneers as like the pretty girl who's got, or the girl that you look at. You know, you see on Facebook, you see the picture of the girl on Facebook, and you know, you see her. What do you call it? Her not her avatar. What the heck do you call it? Her main image on Facebook, and you think, oh man, this girl's hot. And then you meet her in life and you're like, what the heck? What just happened? You know, I mean, you can barely tell they're the same person. They got all the filters going and all that. That's what this team is you look at it from the outside and you think, oh man, this team is going to be hot. But then they show up and not so much. And there's no excuse for this team to be like that. There's no excuse. I really believe that this team has the potential to be freaking awesome. Brandon, I'm starting to think the players aren't buying into the foolishness our coaches are preparing. Listen, I think they bought into it. I think they tried to execute it, but you called it right, foolishness. What are you going to do? I mean, when you go out and try to execute a crap game plan, you're going to get crap on the field. That's what's going to happen. I mean, they need to just beat the crap out of the Panthers. And it's funny, if you can hear my cat's like all of a sudden making a whole lot of noise. I think my cat is like, is all about beating the other cats. I think that's what's happening. So, I mean, listen, man, I know you guys are out there. Somebody give me a call. Give me a call. You can call up and talk to me. Call 678. Talk to me. 678 talk, the number 2, me, 678-825-5263. It's right here, guys. The number's right here. 628-825-5263. All right. Call me up. Let's talk about this. I put the link in the chat room there. I'll do it again. Put the link in the chat room. All I want from you is hop on here. You can just do audio chat if you don't have the guts to come on video. But if you got the guts, come on. Come on, get on here. You can get on here live. Show your pretty face here. Y'all look fantastic tonight. Every single one of you just looks fantastic. Well, there's that one guy over there. But no, I mean, you guys, I want to see. I need to hear from you guys in chat, wherever. Call. I'd like to have you call me. 678-825-5263. And let's talk about it. But I want to hear from you guys. What do the Buccaneers need to do to establish an identity against these freaking... I'm so mad right now about the Buccaneers. I want them to just beat the crap out of the Panthers. I want it to get ugly. What a difference a week makes, because the national media had us as the number 1 team in the NFC, and now they have the Saints as the number 1 team. And the Saints are not the number 1 team. The Saints have not looked that good this year until they played the Buccaneers. Okay, they have not looked that good this year. I don't believe that the Saints made the Saints look good last week. I believe that the Bucs made the Saints look good last week. And I think you know what? I can't believe I don't know this. I got to look it up. Who are the Saints playing this week? Somebody put it in chat. To me, I think reality will come back to the okay, yeah, the Saints are playing San Francisco. Oh, great. Wonderful. Thank you, Harry. Thank you for answering that question. It's unfortunate you gave me the honest answer. Oh, would have rather heard somebody else. Okay, so the Saints are probably going to look good against this week. Good again this week. But the fact of the matter is the Buccaneers are playing a team that has been declining, has been getting worse and worse and worse and worse over the last several weeks. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I want the best for Teddy Bridgewater, but this team's it's young, it's new, it's a brand new team, basically. So they need to grow and they need to become something to be reckoned with. They are not something to be reckoned with, and they'd better show it. The Buccaneers had better show it. Donald, very, very good point here. Donald says, is it time to move on from Donovan Smith? Look, you can't move on from him at this point. You're stuck with him this year. All right. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the final year of his guaranteed money, but you're stuck with Donovan Smith through the rest of the year. It is what it is. Look, Johnny Dean, who at least used to call here from time to time, Johnny Dean always said that, look, this is not the year. He and I kind of agreed about this, and everybody got all up in arms and argued with us and everything, where Johnny Dean and I both said, I don't know about the Super Bowl this year. I think you're jumping ahead. And everybody got mad. Everybody was like, oh, Super Bowl or bust. And it just became this whole thing. And you have to say Super Bowl or bust in the sense that they've now added Antonio Brown. They've added all these key pieces. They put so much into it. You've almost got to say it at this point. But this team, it's going to take another year. It's going to take another year. I believe that it's going to take another year, but this team needs to make noise in the playoffs. This team needs to make noise, and otherwise it's going to be a disappointment. I mean, there is no excuse for what we've seen. I don't think it's time to move on from Donovan Smith. I think it will be at the end of the year. Who are you going to put in his place? That's my question, Donald. Let me know. You can put it in chat. You can do whatever, but let me know if it was time to move on from Donovan Smith. Tell me who are they moving on to? What are you gonna put in his place? Brandon, we better not be playing soft zones, 30-step drops Sunday. Yeah, I gotta agree, Brandon. I gotta agree. Now they're not playing the Saints. They are not playing the Saints this week. They should win this game. And I knew, to be honest with you, before the game, if you were watching any of the pregame show that they had on TV, and you shouldn't have been, you should have been watching Peter Blake's pregame show right here. Doggone it. But I had both on, honestly. But yeah, the guys go out to the deck. It put on a great show before the game, at halftime, and after the show. The deck out at Isla del Sol and the Deck Bar and Grill. And on the pregame show, though, that was on TV, every single person chose the Buccaneers. Every single one of them. And I was like, oh, that's scary. And look at what happened. Yeah, they got their hat handed to them. And listen, guys, the Buccaneers, I've said this all along. This is a little catchphrase that, if you've been around me very often, you've heard me say this phrase repeatedly. You've heard this over and over again from me. That respect is earned. Right now, I promise you that the Carolina Panthers do not fully respect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they shouldn't. Okay? Listen, I'm going to say that again. The Carolina Panthers right now probably do not respect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like they should be. But really, the Panthers have no reason, no real reason. They got the Bucs beat them the first time through. I hear you. But this is not the team. Let me tell you something. When the Buccaneers played the Panthers the first time, they looked like a much better team. Right now, do you think the Bucs respect the Panthers? No, because they haven't earned it. And right now, the Bucs haven't earned it. And learn this, get this, understand this, wrap your mind around this. The Buccaneers did not sign a Lombardi trophy to their roster. They still have to win it. And I don't know if the team just felt like, well, we signed Brady, now we got a trophy. It doesn't work that way. That's not how it works. So, I mean, that's critical information right there. With Ali Marpet out, or was the difference in Donovan Smith's play because there was no help there? Well, I mean, he was playing next to Joe Haeg, And those two had not played together. And I think Arians was talking about there were some stunts and twists and things that they didn't know how to deal with together. They weren't in sync together. Okay. This is week 9. I'm trying to keep my language clean here. Look, this is week 9. Figure it out now. Okay, this is crunch time. This is crunch time, boys. We're heading into the back end here. Figure it out now. Brandon, you're right. Painful to watch. First time I ever almost turned a Bucs game off. Made me feel worse than how Jameis made me feel. Listen, everybody who got upset about Jameis eating his W's after the game and doing all that, let me tell you something. If the Buccaneers team got upset about it, why'd you wait until after the game? You know that how if you feel like he disrespected you, what's the catchphrase, folks? Say it with me, everybody. Respect is earned. So when he disrespected you, when he disrespected the Buccaneers by eating his W after the game, when he disrespected Bucs fans, respect is earned. It hurts. That's a message that hurts. You want to shut Jameis up? Punch him in the mouth during a game. Make him play. You remember how against the Packers, remember how they pulled Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of the fourth quarter or partway through the fourth quarter because the game was over? Do the same thing to the Saints. You want to make Jameis earn you or respect you? You want to make him earn it? Here's what you do. You get him in a freaking game because you beat the crap out of Drew Brees. Jameis comes in the game, and then you shut him up. But until you shut him up, don't expect him to shut up. That's not on Jameis. I don't want to hear whining about Jameis. You want to complain about the fact that they didn't shut him up, and they had the opportunity. Donald says, I think bringing on AB has brought on too much pressure for Brady. I believe there are too many weapons. Oh, and too much pressure for Brady. The guy's been to 9 Super Bowls. 9. And he's had AB on his team before. It's not too much pressure for Brady. If Brady flames out here in Tampa, he had a freaking incredible career. I don't know that Brady feels that kind of pressure. I think the most pressure that Tom Brady feels is pressure put on Tom Brady by Tom Brady. I think that the most pressure Tom Brady feels is pressure put on Tom Brady by Tom Brady. I think that's a key to what makes him what he is. What do you think the Buccaneers need to do? What do you think they need to do this week in Carolina? What do you think needs to be different about the game plan this week? Let's look forward. I'll take one more question here about last week. So do I think this week is on coaching or players? 100% on coaching. It's not a question. There's not a doubt. 100% is on coaching. All of it, every bit of it, every single bit, 100%, not even 99.9. 100% of this loss falls directly on coaching. I'm not going to, is that clear enough message? Am I being clear enough? Am I being ambiguous? I'm trying to be nice and clear here. It's 100% on coaching. I don't mean it figuratively. I mean it literally. This was a coaching disaster. and for Bruce Arians to come out and even intimate that Tom Brady had a bad game, Bruce Arians should shut the heck up. This was on him. You run the ball one time when you're first and goal from the one. When you break the NFL record, all-time NFL record, all-time, not Super Bowl era, not modern era, all-time, forever record for fewest runs in an NFL game. First and goal from the one, and you throw the ball 3 times. Bruce Arians says, well, the reason we didn't run the ball is we were behind 21-0 pretty quickly. So you break the NFL record for fewest rushes and then wonder, why didn't it go well? It must be the players. 100% on coaching. You brought Fournette to let him run the rock more than 7 times a game. Run Leonard. Abso-freaking-lutely, Mike. Mike, you are dead on correct. Run the dang ball, man. Run the dang ball. And if they stop you on the first 3 runs, run it a 4th time and make it work. Figure out how to, you've got to set up the pass with the run. You can't do 7-step drops every play with an injured offensive lineman. You can't do 7-step drops every play and try to go deep. This is not backyard football. All right, everybody go long. You can't do that every play. You can't do that every play. I want Cam Brate to get some of it, not all Gronk's targets. I agree, Brandon. I agree. I think since he got injured, since Cam Brate got injured last year, you've seen his productivity drop. I don't know if those things go hand in hand. I don't know. Bruce is just not a great coach, period. They're 6-3. The Bucs are 6-3. What were they prior to Arians? But let's be clear, when it comes to clock management and game management, and when do you throw a challenge flag? When do you call a timeout? When do you stop the clock at the end of a half or a quarter? I don't understand how a team with this great of a coaching staff, this massive of a coaching staff, all it takes, man, let the one of the backup offensive line coaches have one extra responsibility. It's your job to determine and tell us when to throw that little red flag out on the field for a challenge. All right, one of the kicking coaches. I guarantee you there are more kicking coaches than there are kickers, okay? The way this team is wired and built. Get one of the kicking coaches. His job is to know when to call timeout, when to go for 2. That's his job. That's it. They've got the staff. They have the staff for this. You've got to run the rock, if no more than to keep them honest. Yeah, if you're down 21-0, then you say, well, that's why we didn't run the ball. How the heck do you think you got down by 21? You weren't running the ball at all. At all. Is the Arians Leftwich offense complicated verbiage? No, not really, Mike. Not like Gruden's. Not like Gruden's at all. But I do have an interesting question for you guys. And I want to know this. I don't know the answer. All right, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know the answer to this question. And to me, it's a pretty important, pretty burning question. And it's pretty critical to this team. Who's calling the plays? Who is responsible for that game plan? I want to know those 2 questions. I want to know the answers to those 2 questions. I want to know the truth. I don't want BS answers. I'm starting to think BA majors in BS because so much crap comes out of his mouth these days. I can't even believe it. But I want to know who's calling the plays. I want to know who's responsible for the game plan. Even if Leftwich is calling the plays, who's responsible for the game plan? I'm sure Todd Bowles is responsible for the defensive game plan. And what the heck was that? But who's responsible for the offensive game plan? Who is responsible for 1 week, the main target is Jaden Mickens. God, that hurts. It's like a Slurpee tumor, a brain freeze. Just saying that the main target was Jaden Mickens in the Giants game. I don't get it. There's a problem. There's a problem in coaching this team. Something's going on. And I don't know who to hold completely responsible. I don't know. But Bruce is good, great on blaming Brady. Yes, he is, isn't he? Because Bruce sees himself as being cool. I've heard him refer to himself as being cool. I don't know how many times. You ever have a kid who keeps calling himself cool? Yeah, I'm the cool kid. It's not cool. Our wide receivers don't get enough separation. That's why Brady throws to Miller and Mickens. I have no problem with him throwing to Miller. I actually, before the season started, predicted that Miller was going to be the leading receiver. But Mickens? Really? Mickens? Which also doesn't go with Bruce's deep route offense. Brady knew this back in March. Yes. And I don't have that. This is the only game they've done this, guys. This last week is the only time they've done it. I don't know what the heck happened. Every play, it seemed like, was dropping back, 7-step drops, trying to throw deep. Every freaking play. So I don't know. The wide receivers don't get enough separation. Okay. All right, I guess maybe there's truth in that, but I've seen him throw enough passes to Gronkowski where Gronk is covered. We've seen him thread the needle. So I don't know. BA is responsible, but Leftwich will take the heat. Brandon, I think you are absolutely correct. I think that BA is responsible. I think ultimately if Leftwich is doing a bad job, BA needs to go to Leftwich and say, hey, Sparky, wake up. Wake up. Figure this crap out, or you're not calling the plays anymore. And if BA feels like because of his health he can't call the plays anymore, the Buccaneers have the largest coaching staff in the NFL. I promise you, there are plenty of coaches who can call the plays. Could there be too many coaches? No, I don't believe that that's a problem at all, Donald. As a matter of fact, I think that's why we've seen the Buccaneers find some diamonds in the rough, some players that you normally might not find, undrafted free agents, things like that all of a sudden begin to perform and become a big part of this team. It's because you have a full coaching staff. What happens on most teams is you'll see a lot. You'll see when the reps are happening. You see a lot of guys standing around watching while, one at a time, people are taking reps. And then the next group comes in. Well, what's happened is the Buccaneers have on multiple fields. On one field over here, you have one basically the second string offense is busy humming along, playing against the third, fourth string defensive guys and practice squad guys. And on this field, you have the first string playing against the second string, and you're getting is everybody's getting more work in front of the eyes of coaches. And that way the other coaches over on the other field can say, hey, this guy's really showing out. Let's give him a crack over on field one. And I think that's what ends up happening. So do I think there are too many coaches? Absolutely not. I don't think that's the problem. Mike DeRoche says, I've never seen Tom look so confused. pissed off at his performance or the entire offense. Look, he's looked pissed off before. Okay. To me, what frightened me is he looked more like he didn't know what to think. Like he looked lost. And I have not seen Brady look that lost before. He looked like he was even beyond angry. He just looked like exasperated, defeated. That I'm not used to seeing. Bruce looks lost on the sideline. He does have that look every once in a while. I don't put too much weight on that, but he does, Antonio. He does. You're correct. Sometimes he gets that look like, huh? I love that meme. There's that meme or that GIF that's out there of Arians turning his head and looking. I think that's hilarious. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, Google it. That's pretty awesome. BA had a point to prove. What point, Brandon? What point? What point did BA have to prove? I'd like to hear because I can't figure it out. I have no explanation. I just know that when this team comes out this week, they had better establish the run. They had better, and not only run, they had better be getting the ball to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Scotty Miller and Antonio Brown. They'd better be using their weapons. I want to see the weaponry do their job. I want to see it happen. I'm sick of I'm just tired of excuses, man. I'm tired of it. 9 games in. Stop telling me, well, they didn't have training camp. Okay. You're 9 games in. That kind of a display, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I think this loss to the Saints could be a big wake-up call. It better freaking be, Mike. It better be. Tom Brady will come back. You can book it. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Way to go, Antonio. Oh, I am with you. I am with you. Amen 100%. I do think, I think that the Panthers, Panthers are going to pay an awful nasty price this week. I really think it wouldn't be beyond the Buccaneers to drop a 50 burger on the Panthers. I could see it happening. I could see them dropping 50 on the Panthers and just being pissed. I could see that happening. We'll see. We'll see. What happened to throw short and let the players make the plays? Good question, man. It's a very good question. I don't know the answer. What did happen to that? I wish somebody would ask him that in a press conference. I'll say it like this. I think he coached not to lose rather than coaching to win. I think the Saints have found a way to get deep into the Buccaneer brains. I think you see it from the players talking, the way that the Saints coach against the Buccaneers. I think they are deep in the psyche of the Bucs. And somebody's got to figure out how to get this team past that. I'll say it like this. I think he coached not. Oh, I read that one already. All right. Are there any inactives for the game on Sunday? We don't know yet. We do not know that yet, Mike. Tomorrow is I believe a pretty important report. I mean, we know Marpet practiced. He's still involved in COVID protocol. So, or not COVID. I'm sorry, concussion protocol. So whatever the concussion protocol, whatever it is, he's limited, or whatever he's doing, he's unable to play regularly at the moment. That it may just be part of the protocol is that you have to go through certain steps, through certain types of practice, etc. My guess is Marpet will be back on the field this Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, I'm not tired. My guess is that's what's going that you will see them back. Listen, guys, I'm going to take a break when we've got guests coming up here in a little bit. but I'm going to go ahead and take a commercial break, and we will be back shortly, and we'll have more live from the cheap seats. And I want to hear from you guys. What the heck? Y'all are quiet tonight. I want to hear from you. Come on.
Just because I let it slide doesn't mean it isn't pulling on my heart till it's almost wide. 'Cause I wanna let you feel strong.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up.
The following program is brought to you in living color.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Live from the Cheap Seats, powered up by 320 Solar. All right, guys, so I want to know from you, what are the answers? We all got questions. Everybody's asking questions. We all got questions. I want to hear from you, what are the answers? I want you to step up. Step up to the mic. Call 678-825-5263. Call. Step up. Get on the chat that I've put the link in the chat room. I'll do it again. All right. Get on here. You can come on audio. You can come on video. Step up, coaches. Bring me the answers. I want answers. I don't want excuses. I don't want reasons. I don't want any of that. I want to know this week's game against the Panthers. I want to know about this week's game against the Panthers. I'm tired of talking about the last freaking game. It's over. It's over. Go watch Ilsa. Frozen. Whatever the heck that thing's called. I don't know. I don't have kids. I've never seen it. But let it go. Let it go. It's time to talk Panthers. All right. We need to stop it. It's not the worst game in Bucs history. It's not.
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
It's not the worst game in Buccaneer history. And I'm tell you what, if you think it is, you haven't been a fan for long. Maybe it's the worst game in Brady's history. Shoot, man, this is not even that. That was not even the worst game in the last 5 years. All right, so now it's time to play the Panthers. It's time for the Panthers. We all keep talking about last week. Guys, we've got to be thinking about the Panthers. Forward about the Panthers. Listen, I'm here in Charlotte. I live here in Charlotte. You know what the Charlotte, do you want to know what Panther fans are talking about? You want to know what I hear at work every day? You want to know what they're saying to me? They're not saying to me, man, look what the Saints did. Okay, yeah, they said it on, they did say that on, whatever, next morning. They said it on, I forgot if it was a Sunday night. It was Sunday night, Monday. Sorry. Forgot if it was Sunday or Monday night. They said it on Monday morning to me. I caught grief. But since then, you know what they're all saying to me? Yeah, I think you're going to kick our butt. Bucs fans are busy crying in their soup, are busy whining, busy complaining, busy just focused on that. And even Panthers fans have moved on past it. Let it go. Let it go. It's time to go full Elsa, or whatever her name, I think it's Elsa, from Frozen. There is a way to let it go. Mike Vrabel will be the next great coach. The guy can straight up coach. What's the score in the game, Antonio? What is the score in that game? Yeah, I think that the Titans are the real deal. I really do. You know, I also don't think Tomlin gets enough credit. I mean, his team is always prepared, always good. I don't think Tomlin gets the credit that he should. All right, let's look at the great coaches. And let's be honest, if I'm just going to say this, and I might ruffle some feathers here, guys, sorry. I'm probably going to be given a hard time for what I'm about to say. So everybody hit your record button or whatever, because I'm about to cut it loose. But my question is this: if Mike Tomlin was an old white guy coach, what would everybody say about him and how good he is? If Mike Tomlin looked like Mike Vrabel, what would everybody say about him? It's an interesting question, guys. Let's be real. Let's be honest. I mean, how many coaches have consistently, let's look at it. How long's he held his job? How many Super Bowls? And he's consistently been good year after year after year. Quarterback goes down, he's still good, still makes the playoffs, he's still good. It's an interesting question. I think it's fair. I have no idea what in the world you mean, Antonio. I have no idea what you mean. Look, guys, I have a passion for this team. I've been a fan. I'm going to tell you guys this story. I've been a fan since the first year of this team. Okay, I've actually became a fan of the Buccaneers 2 years prior to their first game. I know it's probably hard to believe, but it's the truth. I was a Buccaneers fan before they had been named the Buccaneers. So, as a longtime Buccaneers fan, I can take a game like this and go, all right, whatever, next, because I've had to live through it for so many times. The problem is coming with this. The expectations were too big, too fast. They were too big, too fast. Christopher Cole said he would be considered one of the best coaches of all time. You're right, Christopher. If Mike Tomlin looked like Jimmy Johnson, he would be considered one of the greatest coaches of all time. Yeah, Antonio, I'm a true Tampa fan. Listen, man, I'll tell you guys this story, and I will do this as quickly as I possibly can, but I'm going to tell you how I became a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I can tell you the date that I became a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. It was April 24th, 1974. Not 76, 1974. Little 8-year-old Rick running down the stairs to go out and play wiffle ball in the front yard. And I got stopped as I was coming to the kitchen. My mother said, stop. And she made me stop, and she made me sit down at the kitchen table. And I just wanted to go outside and play. And I'm thinking, what, am I in trouble? I remember this clearly. I remember thinking to myself, what did I do? You know, so she sat me down at the kitchen table and she walks over to me and she says, okay, listen, there's about to be a press conference on the radio, WDBO in Orlando. There's about to be a press conference and they're going to announce that there's going to be an NFL team in Tampa. And I go, what's Tampa? And she says, little 8-year-old me, what's Tampa? She says, it's a city right down the road. And they're going to have an NFL team. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? You know, I mean, I liked Fran Tarkenton and the Vikings. I liked Jim Hart and the Cardinals. But I was 8. I was 8. I mean, I didn't even have a father. I was raised by my mom and my sisters. So for me, this was a whole different experience, right? This is a whole different. I'm like, what do I have to do? What's an NFL? I mean, I was a Florida Blazers fan that came out in I think that was the WFL, the World Football League. I was a Florida Blazers fan, and you know, my mom said, no, this is the big guys. This is the big guys. And I sat there and I said, what do you mean? I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I'm a Cardinals fan. What are you talking about? Are we talking that league? And she says, yes, I'm talking that league. And this little 8-year-old boy sitting at the kitchen table. I mean, it's funny because I'm flashing back. I can see the wallpaper, the print on the wallpaper. And the little 8-year-old boy goes, wait a minute. I'm going to be able to go to these games? And she says, yeah. And I go, hold on. I'm going to be able to go see Fran Tarkenton play football? I'm going to be able to go see Conrad Dobler play football? And she says, yeah, you're going to be able to go see them. But you're going to be a Tampa fan. And I'm like, well, I'm a Vikings fan. You can be a Vikings fan. You can be a Cardinals fan. But you're going to be a Tampa fan first. So I can go to games. She says, yes. All I have to do is be a Tampa fan. Every other, I got to be a Tampa fan. But when they're not playing each other, I can still root for the Vikings or the Cardinals or whatever. She said, yes. Deal. I get to go to games. This is going to be fun. Right? So I'm all excited. Well, they eventually became their team was named the Buccaneers, and we got to go to games. And my first game during the first year, we got in the old Pontiac Catalina. And the day of the game, my mom walks in with a bag, sets it down on the table and says, go decorate the car. There were orange streamers and white streamers and red streamers. And we got to go decorate the car and put signs in the car and put shoe polish on the windows saying, go Bucs. And all of this. And we drove down I-4 from Orlando to Tampa with the car decorated in Buccaneers, orange and white. And there were other cars that did the same thing at the time. We weren't the only ones doing this. This was a thing. This was a thing. People did this. And it was so fun. You're honking at other Buccaneers fans and everybody's cheering. I got to go to a Buccaneers game. Now they got their butt kicked. I have no idea who they played that first year. I don't remember. But I remember I got to go see some of the players I loved. But let me tell you, when I came out of that first Buccaneers game that I went to, nobody had to tell me to be a Buccaneers fan anymore. It was in my blood. It was in my blood. So me as a Buccaneers fan, sitting here now, 46 years later, whatever it is, 48, 46 years later, for me, this last game's over. Let's talk about the freaking Panthers. Let's win this game. Let's go beat the crap out of them. You know, it was me, my two sisters, piling in the car, and go into that game. And you know what? And I'm gonna get, sorry guys, here you go. Here comes the story. My mom is no longer with us. Okay, buried with a Mike Allstott jersey, by the way. Okay, my mom's no longer with us, and I'll go here. Saturday is the memorial for one of my sisters. This game beat the freaking Panthers. I'm telling you, for me, this is my freaking life. I love this team. I love this team. I'm here in the cheap seats with you guys. I don't want to be on the field. Now listen to this. I used to be on the field. I've been on the sidelines of Buccaneers games. Yeah, I was a photographer for Pro Football Weekly. I've been in the locker rooms. I've been in the press box. I've been in the luxury suites. I love the cheap seats. I remember the first game. I remember the first playoff game against the Eagles in Tampa Stadium at the very top, sitting on the top row of the stadium, watching that playoff game. That's how deep I bleed for this team. So I'm telling you guys, last week is over. No, I don't have COVID. I have allergies. Okay? Last week is over. This week, beat the freaking Panthers. I don't care what happened last week. 7-3 sounds awesome. If before this year started, somebody told you 10 weeks into the season, they're going to be 7-3, you'd take it. And if somebody said, yeah, one of those losses, you're going to get your butt kicked by the Saints, you'd still take it. Gladly and happily, you'd take it. So let me be clear. If you're the kind of fan who bails on the team and constantly complains about the team, and when they do good, you find things to gripe about, and when they do bad, you find more things to gripe about, you don't belong in the cheap seats. You don't belong here. If you want to be a fan, be a freaking fan. It's time to move on. I don't want to hear extra crap. I want to hear the freaking answers. I don't want to hear complaints anymore. We're done with that this week. We're done with it. I want to hear the answers about this game. What do they need to do to win this game? That's what we need to hear. What are the things that need to happen now? Not what needed to happen last week. We're done with that. We've had it. We got it off our chest. We've worked our way through it. It's freaking Thursday. The team has to be over it the next day. It's time for you to get over it. They're 6-3. Some of y'all act like they're 3-6 because they lost last week. So come on, man. Come on. Step up, fans. Be fans, man. Step up. Joshua Cole Allen. Joshua, hey, buddy. If Davis misses the game this week, it's going to be tough for the defense given Dean and SMB's recent struggles. Teddy threw for over 360 yards in the first game. Without Davis, it's going to be a long day for the secondary if Dean and SMB don't step it up. Listen, man, if the defensive line is all over Bridgewater, they're going to be fine. It's not only Carlton Davis. Yes, it's important. But if you lose one player and the whole team falls apart, You weren't much of a team, and I believe in this team a whole lot more than that. I do. Amazing story, Rick. Memories are great. Yes, they are. Here come the tears. Great story, Rick. I love this team. Unfortunately, living in Canada, not lots of Bucs coverage. That's why I come to the Bucs Report shows. I love it. Let's go Bucs. Mike, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's kind of a vacuum when it comes to Bucs stories around here. It's all Panthers. So I hear you, brother. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Believe me, the Saints curse will not last. You can book it. Tell me about it. Christopher says, preach it, Rick. Dang right. Dang right. Can I get a witness? Great story, brother. I have similar memories. However, I was in junior high school, Pierce Junior High in Tampa, when we were awarded the Bucs. I saw the first ever victory versus the Saints in New Orleans. Wow, you were at that game? Then I was in the stands when we won our second game and the first home win ever. We beat the St. Louis Cardinals. Coach Bell, Bucs Nation, stand up. Let me tell you something, Marvin. Let me tell you something about that, brother. That first game, I was at my friend Brian's house. And I remember there was chatter. I believe the Saints head coach had said how embarrassing it would be if they lost to the Buccaneers. He said that before the game. Team had lost 26 in a row. It would be embarrassing to be the first team to lose to the Bucs. Oops. Oops. I don't even know what that is, Joshua. I'm never mind. I'm not even going to talk about it. Defense needs to get to Bridgewater. Yes, Teresa. Yes. Defense needs to get to Bridgewater. Brady needs to spread the ball out, find first downs, not so much going all the way downfield. Amen, Teresa. You're on it. I think that is the answer. I think that is absolutely the answer. I think you just right there. Here's your game plan, guys. Here's your game plan. Let's vote for Teresa to write up the game plan. All right. This is the game plan. The defense needs to get to Bridgewater so you don't drop everybody deep. Brady needs to spread the ball out to the frickin' weapons that he has, not Jaden Mickens. When you have high-powered weaponry, use it. Not saying that, but he's a big key to that defense locking down the one top receiver and just saying the other cornerbacks will have to step it up given the struggles. Agreed, Joshua. I think you're right. Carlton Davis is a big part of this defense. I'm not disputing what you're saying. I guess it's just I'm at a point right now. There's no excuse to lose to the Panthers. If you barely beat the Giants, get your hat handed to you against the Saints, and then you lose to the Panthers, this team is in a tailspin. So that cannot happen. Simply cannot happen. Samuel has come on for them, and Anderson and Moore have been playing well. Well, yes, but this, and let me tell you, not so much lately. The team has not looked good the last couple of weeks. And I'm not talking about the Bucs. I'm talking about the Panthers. They've been struggling. Rick, how did you celebrate the championship in 2002? With all of my heart, brother. With all of my heart. I have great memories of that playoff run. I watched the San Francisco playoff game in the Bahamas. We were filming a TV series in the Bahamas, and I got to watch that playoff game sitting in the Bahamas. Someday I'll tell you that whole story. Followed by, I got back and was able to watch the Philadelphia game. I lived in Connecticut at the time, and Will never forget that beautiful day. And then I flew home to Atlanta and spent time with my family, and we watched the Super Bowl together. And, I told you the story about my mother. I cannot tell you how many of my friends called me during the Super Bowl to say, man, I'm thinking about your mom. Because, I lived in the house where like everybody came to everybody came to my house to play and to eat. And we were sort of the center of stuff in a lot of ways. And, I had so many friends call me during that Super Bowl and say, man, I'm thinking about your mom, because she had just passed away the year before. We, Canada, get lots of Vikes coverage. Yeah, I'm still kind of, I got to tell you, I still have a little bit of passion for the Vikings. I don't really know much about them. I don't follow them. There's a lot about the team I don't know anymore. There's a lot of things about that, but I still I got to tell you, there's still a part of me that likes that. Marvin says, Hank Stram was the head coach of the Saints at the time. That's right. And he definitely said it. Thank you, Marvin. Marvin, we got to talk sometime, brother, because I think you and I probably have stories. Christopher Cole says, I've been a fan for just 10 years, less than you, because I became a fan in 86. And I didn't see the playoff game until until 11 years. But you had to wait longer. No, I didn't, man. I got a playoff game in the third year. So no, I got it quicker than you did. I actually got it quicker than you. Edward says, we will not lose. Joshua says, the Panthers almost beat the Chiefs, Rick. Yeah, almost. That's great. Awesome. That's awesome. The Giants almost beat the Bucs. So are they good? I just don't think almost wins really count that much. Edward says, Rick, we will not lose. I know we will win. Joshua says, I don't think they lose, but definitely need to tighten up. No room for mental mistakes and a slow start. Absolutely. Antonio says, Rick, don't forget what Carolina did to the Chiefs. Super close game. I don't care about super close games. They lost. This is like when people say things like, well, the Bucs beat the Packers, and the Packers, and they come up with this long little chain of this team beat this team and this team beat this team, so therefore this game should be close. No, man, no. I'm sorry, but the Panthers have not played as good the last couple of weeks. They played the Chiefs. The Chiefs did not have their best game at all. They struggled. Let's see. Super Bowl game, I had to leave at halftime. I had to go play hockey playoffs. Oh, Mike. The guys told me the Bucs were getting their asses handed to them. And I found out they won. Awesome. All right. We have a very special guest about to join us right now. I am so excited about this. And those of you who watch Peter's show and watch other shows know this guy. And I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am. He does not come on this show very often. And when he does, this is a very special thing. And I'm excited about this. Welcome to the Cheap Seats, dude.
Well, how am I supposed to follow up that lead-in? Jesus. Sorry for the delay, sir. I was helping some gentleman named Tom fetch his jet skis. It's been a rough day for some of the people in Tampa Bay. Rough 24 hours. Hope everybody's good out there. Hope you guys stayed safe. Rick, what's going on tonight, brother?
Nada, man. How are you?
Well, happy that we can that today is Thursday, the start of the new NFL week, which means officially everybody can put that thing that happened last week behind us and start looking at the Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, not impressed so far, buddy. To his defense, not a whole lot around him. I feel like this is a no-brainer if we go with all the cliches. Tom Brady always comes back strong after a bad game. A real playoff team doesn't play two bad games in a row. I believe the Buccaneers have literally started every 4-game segment this season with losing the first of 4 games. So that to me, I feel like it should be a pretty easy win. And when I mean easy, I mean a touchdown right around in that area to where it's not really up for debate at the end. But I have to say, if anybody remembers, Carolina, kind of like, this is weird, right? Like the Saints and like the Falcons are always a thorn in the Bucs side. Or had the Bucs just been so bad for so long, every team's a thorn in their side because they can't get out of their own way. I'm not sure, but hard take. Thursday night, the dude thinks it's going to be 28-24 Buccaneers. That's what I think on Thursday. It'll probably change 10 times between now and game time, though.
Okay, that works. I'm thinking more like, I really honestly think it's going to be more like 32-13.
I like that. That means we can relax at the end of the game and coast.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that kind of game. I just really believe that this offense is motivated. I think that they're not coming out overhyped. I do think that there may have been a certain amount of that. Like they got over jacked up for this game, like the coaching and everybody got so over jacked up that I just think that things just got out of hand, got out of control. And I think that they're going to go in there. And I mean, look, the Panthers, they have been struggling. Anybody who says, yeah, but they almost won this game. Okay, they almost beat a good team.
Well, yeah, and like like they say, I mean, we could go down the rabbit hole and say, well, this team lost to that team, almost lost to this team, but they should have won that game, but they got screwed out of the referees. But they lost to that team who beat this team, and they lost to the team that we beat.
I don't know if you heard, dude. I just said the exact same thing, man. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. It's this whole chain where I don't care if they almost beat the Chiefs. Okay, that means they lost. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, almost. Horseshoes or hand grenades is the only time almost counts, right?
Somebody just said the same thing in chat room. That's exactly right.
Oh, well, I can't see the chat.
No, I know. I'm just telling you, but Marvin made the same thing.
And I'm in no position to read at all anyway. I'll say this about the Buccaneers, not as a whole for the season, but, I said we were going to not talk about it, but that last performance, it almost felt like the Buccaneers, who are a solid team without Tom Brady, let's not kid ourselves. You take Tom Brady out, it's still a solid team. So it was like they showed up on Monday night. The solid team is going, all right, Tom Brady, do your thing. And Tom's like, all right, guys, do your thing. And nobody did their thing.
That's exactly what I think happened. This is what I said. It was like backyard football. It was just like, okay, guys, everybody go deep. And I mean, that was, and when that didn't work, it was like, I hadn't thought about anything else.
Well, and we touched on this a little bit, and we don't want to beat it like a horse or anything, but you had bad weather. You're missing
a dead horse, by the way. If anybody's out there just beating horses regularly, please stop.
Well, isn't that literally what horse racing is? But anyway, I digress.
Only for one horse. Only one horse beats the other horses.
Don't they like whip the horse while they're riding it or something?
Something like that. I don't know.
And they like kick it with their fucking heels or some shit. Like,
hey.
Yeah, sound effect time.
Yeah.
Boing. No, don't do the boing.
No, not for that.
Boing would be inappropriate.
Yes.
The boing would be a scene from Clerks.
I'm just letting that go. We just please keep going.
Okay, so back there you go. Back to football. My issue is, and it's been the hot button topic all week about Byron Leftwich, and is he in over his head, and is Arians, shouldn't Arians do something, and can he do something? And there's no chemistry with Tom Brady and Mike Evans, and you know what? Probably a little bit of everything. But my beef last week, obviously the game was horrible, but you have bad weather, rain, wind. You're missing Ali Marpet. you've got two running backs who average right around 4 yards a carry, and you got a quarterback that can throw the 8 to 15 yard slant or pass better than anybody in the history of football. And what do? You
Let's go deep.
You go full Madden, and you're like, okay, X and Z route, and I'm just gonna tap it and lob it and see what happens, bro. Come on, man. I get taking shots, but see, for people who've watched football for years and years, if not decades, the taking the shots, the big play was always hence the name big play. It was what got the highlight reel every night on TV. It was a big deal. That was every so often. And we've had teams in the past, the Greatest Show on Turf, some teams back in the 70s, the run and gun offense, that were just big play after big play. But guess what they didn't do? They weren't like legendary. They went up, they got hot, teams figured out how to beat it, and they fizzled off. My point is, you got a quarterback that is beautiful at dinking and dunking down the field, a la Joe Montana.
Yep.
You've got wide receivers and tight ends who are bigger than the average WWE wrestler.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay. And you've got running backs who, and shout out to Ronald Jones, who can run between the tackles and have had success doing so this year. And what do? You throw it deep, you throw it deep, you throw it deep. It doesn't work, man. You got to have some blame on Byron Leftwich. You got to put some blame on Arians for not stepping in. You got to blame everybody. I mean, it was a team effort and suckness is how I would put it. But it started with a shitty game plan, in my opinion.
Hey, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said chitty, like chitty, chitty, bang, bang. So there.
What am I going to do with you, dude?
Probably call me derogatory names, but then, we need to get a buzzer in here.
Yeah, I need some sort of a buzzer. I can always make you walk the plank, but
Well, but the plank is cold.
I don't care.
All right, but
you're the one walking it, not me. Hey, Teresa, by the way, in chat just said, weren't you two the same ones that had the conversation about our Atlanta stadium?
Well, I mean, if we
it lives on, man. It lives on. That moment in my life lives on. It just won't go away.
Teresa, we are going to hold revisiting that conversation till the Falcon week, which is, I believe, again, isn't the Falcons games 2 of the last 3 games again this year or something like that?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Come on, NFL, do better.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
they're trying to hold most of the division games till the end of the year, and it just, I don't know, whatever.
But in hindsight, they probably should have put the Saints games at the end of the year with the Bucs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every Buck fan right now is like, yeah, we should have done that. But hey, and I'm sure this has been talked about, if not on tonight's show, but before or out there in the social media, Twitter, book, face app thing. The Buccaneers, the year they won the Super Bowl, they lost their home opener to the Saints, and they lost to the Saints on Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
So,
and they got blown out, by the way, by the Raiders that year.
Right. So if you believe in karma and juju and all that other good stuff, and what was that little statue in the movie Major League in the guy's locker room?
Oh, I don't remember.
Jojubu or something.
Yeah.
If you believe in any of that stuff, that's a positive omen to spin on the Saints' losses this year. The other side of that is, in all reality, unless something horrible happens with the Saints, the Buccaneers are playing for one of those. I think there's 17 wild card spots now, right? Because aren't we up to like 18 or 27 teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, but I think like it's every team goes to the playoffs other than the Jets. I mean, that's kind of how it works.
So the NFL went full participation trophy on the playoff berth this year. Okay, great. Yeah. That was well played. Here, hey, NFL, let me ask you a question. So your brilliant brainstorm of having to deal with schedule conflicts and rescheduling games during a pandemic, is to add more games to the playoffs. That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Let's play more. Screw it. Let's play 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the logic.
What
That is
it
the
really
logic.
is, what it actually is no, it's another $1 billion. But
Yeah, that's exactly really what it is. It's I think we can get more people to watch. Yeah.
Here's what's funny. Now, I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong. If the Buccaneers continue at their current pace, they're going to be somewhere around 10-6 and in the playoffs. We know this, okay? But whoever wins the NFC East with a losing record, are they the higher seed?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. A team could go 6-10, make the playoffs, and be a higher seed than the Buccaneers at 10-6.
Well, then I'm going to say this. Bleep word, bleep word, bleeping bleep word, bleep word. That is a bunch of bleep word. That said, hey, Philly, we will clown you if you get your second Super Bowl with a losing record. We will. It will happen.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay, you will be a trivia question the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Also, because I don't really like Philadelphia fan, and I know there's probably at least 1 or 2 listening. You know who you are. Yeah. Rondé Barber intercepted the ball and closed down the vet in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Y'all know that? I just wanted to bring that up. It is Thursday. Throwback Thursday. Ha ha. Hashtag. What else were you talking about tonight, Rick? This isn't the cooking show, so I don't need to tell you what I ate, right?
Exactly. But you know what? I do want to know this. I mean, we've got you on here. I'm waiting for the day that we will have the triumphant return of Nick Citro. One of these days, Nick Citro will be back on the air. And until that day, he's going to get that fanfare.
I heard Citro was in vitro. So,
I've heard lots of things, when it comes
he's
to
also the pole master. Dude, that's where that sound effect comes in play. Boing.
Okay. I love it when you call. I'm seriously, it's like everything goes off the rails. I lose any sense of what the heck I'm doing around here. It's awesome.
Well, that's why I wait till near the end. Go ahead, get your show and your professionalism out there. And I'm going to come on with a little bit of a buzz from this fine beverage. And I might say the S word. I might say another word. But I'm here to entertain you and to lighten the mood.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, here's the thing. I think Forrest Gump would have been smart enough to tie up his jet skis with a hurricane coming there, Mr. Brady. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, did Brady? Is that a story that's out right now?
No, yeah, Tom Brady's jet skis. That's what my whole intro was about there, Mr. Out of Touch.
Yeah,
Well, Tom Brady.
I have a job. I have a life.
Hey, I see, and I took that personally. Like Michael Jordan says. I took that personally. Anyway, Tom Brady said it was reported that Tom Brady sat and watched last night during the storm as his dock and jet skis broke away and floated away. He has recovered them, though.
And he pulled the change out of his pocket and bought 2 more jet skis.
Well, I thought he would just snapped his fingers and boom, there was a jet ski delivery service and a masseuse because it stressed him out.
Probably, and let me tell you something. All he probably would have to do is mention a company that makes jet skis, and they'd be dropping them off at his door.
He wakes up the next day, and his entire 14-acre driveway is full of jet skis and Sea-Doos.
Yeah.
And it's here you go, Mr. Brady. But anyway, we won't get into that. That sounds like a bad path to go down.
Yes, that does, and especially with you.
Well, because I might say a bad word.
Or 4.
I noticed that you have a phone number. Nobody's calling, so if nobody wants to talk to the dude, that's pretty cool. Because
Tick me off. Nobody's calling me. 678. Talk to me. 678-825-5263. Come on, guys.
You know what I think? I think the people watching are going, okay, it says 678. I do not see any letters on my dial pad.
678-825-5263. It does also say that, Johnny. Or I mean, Keith.
Sorry.
Whoop.
Hey, should we
man.
Hey.
If I could give myself the plank.
Hey, should we call Johnny's phone? Okay, no, we won't do that. Hey, buddy. How you doing? But seriously, I'm not sure because I haven't been able to look at I didn't get a chance to read the evening newspaper yet today. Is Christian McCaffrey playing, or is he officially out? Okay. So Christian McCaffrey's out, Buccaneer fans.
See, how do I know this, but I don't know about Brady's jet skis? And you know about Brady's jet skis.
Because I told you as I came on the show, I was out helping some guy named Tom recover his jet ski.
Tom Brady's jet skis have been recovered. Sorry. Sounded like breaking news.
Well, I mean, it broke away from his house, so that's kind of that.
Literally breaking news.
I am breaking news. I'm breaking this news feed right now.
Holy cow, Johnny Dean commented. He's back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Johnny is back. There's a good line there, but I won't say it.
Yes, there is.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, thanks for tuning in, bro. Now, again, the point I'm trying to make is no Christian McCaffrey. That kind of puts a little bit of pressure on one Mr. Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Buccaneer fans, drop in the comments. How many sacks will the Buccaneers get? That's the easy one. How many?
I got a question. I got a question for all the people talking about how the Panthers almost beat the Chiefs. Was McCaffrey in that game?
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, my point kind of is Teddy has to win this game for him offensively. And their defense has to stop, confound, or fluster Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, or more importantly, Byron. No, it's not a sandwich. It's a left witch. It's not a right witch.
I'll have what he's having.
I do feel like the Buccaneers are going through some growing pains with Leftwich right now.
Groin pains?
Well, growing like.
Oh, got it. Growing pains.
Right. Well, I mean, okay. So, I'll put it this way: I have been in the news feed on the social media stuff, and growing pains. Yes, because some of you Bucs fans are definitely ball busters. But I feel like the Buccaneers need to have a little bit of the fans need to have a little bit of patience. It's not like Byron Leftwich is having calling bad plays constantly, and the team is 3-6. They are, they are head and shoulders better record wise than they were last year.
Yeah, they only what did they win last year? Was it what? They won 6 or 7 last year. I can't remember.
I can't remember, but how I do it with the Buccaneers, it's over or under JPP's fingers.
It's under. It was definitely under JPP's fingers.
Isn't that technically 8.5?
I don't think it's 8.5. I think it's 7.5.
7.5. Well, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so and that's right about what they average, right? 7.5 wins.
Yeah.
At half point for the Vegas there.
Yeah, that's right.
So the point
now we know how Vegas does the odds. They actually have JPP helping them with them. Hold up, how many fingers you think they're going to win by?
Left or right hand, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. The point is, I don't remember, but we got to be patient with Byron Leftwich. Bruce Arians is mentoring this guy, is bringing him along. There are going to be growing pains, and write it out, Bucs fans. This team is going to the playoffs.
Thank you.
The Super Bowl thing, it is what it is. If it happens, relish it, enjoy it, appreciate it, but do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. Don't do us a favor. I don't really give a damn. Do yourself a favor, though. Quit making it to where if they don't do what you think they should do, that your entire week is crap. And I almost said the S word, but I went with crap because that's PG-13.
Thank you. Yay!
That's my. That was totally. I'm not even going to say the word. Yay! I just wanted to pop on. I am going to jump off because my phone's at 3% and I can't find my charger. Do you know why?
Well, because you've had a beverage or two.
Well, that, and I loaned it to Tom Brady because he went through a hurricane and he's traumatized.
On that joke.
Anyway, great job tonight. Shout out to 320solar.com. 320 Solar. It's solar power, dude. Don't be stupid. Go get solar power. It's smart and smarter than you are, so just do it. Shout out to the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol. Be there every Bucs game for the watch party. 2 hours prior, live show, pregame, halftime, postgame report, followed every game day by From the Cheap Seats Live with Rick Hughes. Now, the dude's going to say thank you very much. Mucho gracias. And I know you didn't ask, and I know this is not what's cooking in the South, but just so you know, the dude had, what do you think the dude had for dinner?
Meatloaf.
Mushrooms, man, mushrooms.
I don't even want to know what kind. I don't even want to know. All right, everybody, that's the dude. The dude is the man. The dude abides, and every time the dude is on the show, it gets much better. Anyway, so Johnny Dean says 16 teams, top 2 from each division, or top 16 teams was done in 85. Yeah, we're just having some fun. Teresa, I'm not getting into the middle of your conversations. That was smart. Because you never know where they're going to end up. I'm always a little bit terrified. I am always just a little bit terrified. All right, guys. Since the dude came in and basically brought the house down, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I think we're going to call it a night. Mike, what'd you say here? 27-17 Colts, 1 minute left in the third quarter. All right, I think I'm going to go watch that fourth quarter, chill out and relax and enjoy that fourth quarter. And I want to tell you guys, seriously, Buccaneers fans, time to go frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Let's all collectively take a deep breath and breathe and move on. That game is over. It's over. We're good. It's going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. And it's a brand new game, and the Buccaneers can be 7-3 when this game is over. And don't freaking tell me you wouldn't have been perfectly happy with that. You'd have loved it. You would have loved it if I told you the Bucs are going to be 7-3. They're basically a shoe-in for the playoffs. You would have been perfectly happy with that. So, guys, hop on board. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Go Bucs.
This could be us, but you haven't called. Call 1-833-77-SOLAR right now and join the 320 Solar Happy Customers Club for $0 down and no payments until 2022. We'll put the power back in your hands. 320 Solar. Power up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.